So, Mirage. Mirage, pretty common map. It's been around for a while. It was used in CS 1.6. It was used in Source. There's a few changes to it, especially in the Valve version. So you can see just visual changes mainly, but also some design changes. So over at B-Site, just the way the boxes and everything is laid out, it's a little bit different than the other versions of Mirage. But people should know the basic layout. Obviously, middle, pretty big area for contention. Again, both CTs and Ts want it because it's the catwalk, it's the connector to A, it's the ladder room, which cuts off rotation. So this is pretty important to have on both sides, CT and T. A lot of contention is done here. B is pretty hard to take as a terrorist if you're doing like a full B take, because you're just coming out with basically this 4x4 doorway or this 2x4 window, if you want to call it that. So Mirage, B, pretty difficult to take on its own if you're doing a full execute. You usually want to be able to actually have mid control before you do it, maybe distraction, maybe kill a cat player, maybe get an entry kill before you do it. But again, it is definitely possible. You can do smokes over the wall that land and block off window or block off cat, and then you can just do flashes that go over the site, through the window, through the balcony. So there are ways that you can actually take the B bomb site as a terrorist. But I think most of the action happens over at A, because there's two bigger choke points that they can contest from, that being this upper apartment palace area and the lower ramp. But also you can have players kind of lurking middle into connector from underground or from top mid, and you can do a split. So A is probably where most of the contention happens in terms of, you know, which bomb site's getting hit, and that's probably largely due to the fact that this is open. There's no skybox here, so you can actually do an array of smokes and flashes that will actually go over the wall. I forget how to do the smoke. Something like this, and then you aim like here, and then you aim like here or something. So you can do like smokes for jungle, you can do smokes for connector, you can do smokes for CT spawn, and you can do all these smokes over the wall. You can do it from over this wall, you can flash deep, you can flash close. Not that close. Close like this. Just get anyone who's like close to the ramp so you can kill them. And basically these smokes help you get out A uncontested, because basically, again, same thing on cache. CTs, they need to rotate into the site. They're either playing in the bomb site where they're trapped, or they're playing outside of the bomb site where if they're playing from CT spawn, you smoke them out. Now they can't push into the site, otherwise they push through the smoke, or they jump up here where you just stare at them, just saying, like a guy just sits here and just waits for CT to jump up on the toll booth and you just kill him. So smoking over the walls is a great way to actually come up and take the bomb site. Where do you want me to start on Mirage? Best way to hold A as a CT. Okay. How to win a Mirage, get into the glitch spot, CT spot? No. Okay, I can do how to hold A as a CT. So let me start with that. So as a CT, what you want to do at the start is you want to basically stop a rush. If they run up a ramp and you're here and your teammates are split off, 2 at B, 1 at middle, you know, maybe one of your teammates is with you at A, you want to make sure that this A ramp is smoked off, because that's the best way to stop a rush. Throw the smoke off the back wall. I see a white line on the wall and I throw it. Be warned though, oftentimes, there's a gap in the smoke where they can see under it and shoot you as you're crossing. But generally speaking, if they want to jump up through the smoke, if you're playing like, let's say, close to the ramp, or you're playing over here, you're playing try box or default box or spawn box, it's a good smoke because they're gonna have to run through a smoke to kill you. Usually it's best to have one person close, like balcony or site or something, and another person who's able to support him and push in if the danger comes or the time comes for it, but he's able to help middle as well and shut down basically underground connector pushes, top mid, flash for his teammate over the wall. And also this guy can re-smoke ramp, or he can flash his teammate into the ramp or flash over the ramp so that his teammate can push and kind of clear everything and just see if they're A or not. So if I come and I play under the balcony, what I like to do is one of the things I like to do is kind of like wait here, and then when I think they're getting close or about to execute, I smoke off the apartments. I just sit here and I let them come up, and I let my teammates like enemies start throwing smokes and flashes everywhere. I let my teammates start like coming back up and then throwing a flash, and then I can come out and kill them and go down here and fight and just like move around a lot. So I like smoking off apartments and playing from up here. If I'm down under the balcony and they're doing like an A-take, where you can do where flashes that kind of go like this. So I'll throw it as a grenade, so you just stand here. If you're coming up the ramp and you're looking here and you see that flash, you're basically blind. Or you can do it off like this lower run. It's the same thing. It's gonna just basically get the same effect. So you throw that bounce flash and you can peek out and get a kill and then like re-flash. So you never wanna go flash, peek, start fighting, and then start fighting more people. You wanna do this. You wanna flash, you wanna peek, you wanna kill one, you wanna hide, you wanna re-flash, and then you re-peek after that second flash. And once you're done your flashes, now you just like keep jiggling back and forth and letting them push you. And you just like play this angle and you just like jiggle back and forth. If you're playing from sight, one of the ways you can do counter flashes are bouncing off this wall back into the faces, because it's going to go and get blocked from this box. It's going to block the vision of the flash, and then it's going to get the enemy, but it's not going to get you. So if you do this and then you peek them, they're going to be turned away from it where you shoot them in the back, or they're going to be staring at it where you peek them, they're looking at you, you unpeek, the flash goes off, they're blind, and now you peek out and kill them. So those are good ways to flash them. Sandwich, it's a bit of a risky position, because if you're here, again, you're trapped. It's like sandbags on cash. If you put yourself in this position, once you're spotted, you're committed to the spot, and you're pretty much dead. But here, you can do counter flashes that go over the wall. Like that, and then you can push out and kill them. You can sit here, smoke off balcony, and then just sit here at this angle and just kill them as they're running up. But you have to be warned, because people will come up like this, and then they can flick down at you. So sitting here is kind of like risky, especially if they can come out on the side here, or they can come up here. So putting yourself at sandwich is high risk, but it's good to, if you have like lots of people at the bomb site, you can play a guy sandwich, a guy under balcony, a guy CT spawn or something like that, and they won't really expect you if your teammates are fighting them, and they might run past you and you can get a free kill on them. Let's see. Other ways you can play it are like hiding a person in here. Instead of hiding sandwich, you can hide a guy here, and it's very hard to actually see this guy. You actually have to come in and fully commit to clearing it to actually kill the guy. You can't really see him from up here unless you come to like this angle and shoot through it. Up here as well, like you need to come out here to actually see the guy. So if you're playing in the spot, you want to put your your face in the corner of the box. You don't really want to be peeking out like this, because this is where your gun sticks out and everything. Put your face in the box, they start throwing their smokes and flashes and everything, and then they're in the site, and then the flashes go off, and then you come out and kill them. Like, they don't really expect you there. If they get into the site and it seems clear, they're going to start focusing on this, and you can run out from the side now and just start killing them and get into an advanced position. So that's a good way to get into an advanced position. Mid. I'm going to talk about mid T side, mid A side. T side middle. It's difficult to take, because you can have the enemies coming from connector, they can be coming from the window, and they can be coming from cat, or they can be pushing all the way up mid. So what you want to do is you kind of want to isolate it. You want to take away as many vantage points as possible from the CTs. So this is probably the most difficult position to kill. They just fly out. They have the best angle on mid. They can see top left mid, they can see top right mid, they can see all of mid. They're not just like one side, like connector guy can only see left mid, cat guy can only see right mid, unless they fully wide peek. One sec. So smoking off window is absolutely huge, because this is where oppers usually go. So there's actually a couple ways that you can throw smoke from CT spawn. I forgot how to do it. It's something like you aim at this, and then you aim up at the antenna, and you run forwards, and then you release at the very end. I don't exactly know how it's done. I've never thrown it personally, but teams do this. There's actually a couple of other ways that you can throw the smoke. I'm just not familiar with them. I'm always the guy who's over at running over to mid. So if you have someone throwing the smoke for you from T-spawn, that's a great way for you now to come up and kind of just throw a flash for some guy connector, and then cross. Now mid smoked off at the window, and you can actually come into more advanced positions. That could be running down here and getting into connector. Let's say your teammate comes here and throws a flash for you for connector, or it could be that you come here now, window smoked off, you throw a smoke that lands into connector. That was a horrible connector smoke, but anyways, and then you flash and you push up cat, and then you get into ladder room. So these are kind of different ideas that you can use, splice them together as a terrorist to actually take control of middle. There's a whole variety of different ways that you can do it, different philosophies. You can do it with a window smoke and then walk an opera up here and peek into A. You can do it with the smokes and window and connector and then get into ladder room. You can do that and do a cat rush. There's all sorts of different ways that you can actually take middle as a terrorist, but those are the basic things that you want to get down. Smoke for window, and doing it from T-spawn is great because you can also rebuy. Smoke for connector, and what you have to be worried, what you'll want to aim for is getting a smoke not at the bottom of connector, but like a couple steps up. And the reason why you want to get it up here is because if it's too low down, people can see over it like this, and then they can shoot you through the smoke. So this was on like this. You can see it here, it's on the second step. So you want to get it up on at least the third step, if not the fourth one. So if it's up closer up the stairs, they won't be able to see anything at all. So that's what you want to be able to do. And if they want to come out here or something, you can actually see them, or you can pre-fire them, as opposed to just like them seeing everything. Like, it's very difficult for me to find a position there. And then that way you can actually get up cat. But again, smoking off window and then coming here with an op and peeking to A site is also a very strong thing that you can do as a terrorist. On counter-terrorist side, if you want to hold control of middle, what you want to do is you want to basically use as many people as possible, as many resources as possible. So if that means you're flashing over from A to middle and then peeking from connector and having a guy peek from window and a guy peeking from cat at the same time, that's a strong hold because now you have 3 people watching the same spot. It's also good to do things like having the guy, let's say you come over mid as a CT, you don't see anything at mid, cat guy can now walk up top left mid, opera can just be sitting here posted, and the third guy can come here and get ready with a flash to flash left side mid, and the cat guy can push up and then clear this. If he has this, he can now do a big flank on A, you can do a big flank on B, or you can just sit here and hold top mid control, and then you just basically have the opera drop down, clear out underpass, sit here, one person's top mid, one person's B, 2 people A, and now you have a really fast flank on A. You can do a rotation and stack A, you can get a nice flank underground at B, or better yet, like running through the house or something like that to go and clear out B. So there's all these different ways that you can actually make plays off of mid control as a CT, but basically where you want to start is peeking mid with an op. This is a great way. Other things you can do, let's say there's a smoke that comes into window early every round, you can come over here and actually boost your teammate onto this box, into the window, and then get to cat quick with an op, and then peek off cat quick. And people don't expect people to be this far off cat that early into a round, because normal timings are, if you run all the way through B and jump through the window and everything and run up cat, you won't be here. This saves a few seconds, and you can catch teams off guard usually if you do that. Other things you can do as a terrorist is throw a smoke somewhere over here, and then you can do something like get a guy to sit here and then another guy boosts up over top. Maybe the smoke needs to be like here rather instead. You just sit here with one person and another person gets on top, and now you can see over the smoke and peek them connector and peek them into the window. So this is another thing that you can do, which is pretty cool as a terrorist to take control. Counter terrorists can do something similar. You throw a smoke off the sign. I forgot how it's done exactly, but basically the smoke will land somewhere around here, and you just jump up, and you just look over mid, and you just kill everyone over here. And you have a teammate come and just like watch underground or something. So there's different things that you can do on both sides, T side and CT side, with smokes, one-way smokes to look over, that you can take control of it. Best spots to hold B as a CT. So CT, one of the most common things that you can do is just jump up and kind of take a look over into B. If you see an enemy coming, that's when you can start throwing your smokes, you can throw your flashes, you can throw nades or molotovs, and you can just hold this area. One cool thing to do is just sit here and kind of shoot people, because when you're running out as a terrorist, especially if you're running through like a smoke grenade, like you're coming out and you're kind of looking towards bench, looking towards sight, and you're not really looking like this or even like over to this position. So sitting here is a great way to just like pop off heads. Other places you can play directly under here. If you have a smoke or someone's baiting for you, you can play here and then like have a teammate over here just like bait for you, and then they won't really check that corner. You can play this bench corner and watch them jump out of the window. You can play from behind the bench like this, and just like wait for them to run by you, and then they're like, oh no, no one's bench, and you come up and kill them in the back. This is a cool spot, so you just walk into it at a diagonal, and then you'll get boosted up here, and then you jump up. You can actually see into the apartments, and you can see people like walking by. It's like impossible to see you. So that's another cool place to play. You can play like this, watching them jump out the balcony. You can play from the cat box area. You can be spotting from cat and just spotting them. You can do spams through this wood, and that will get anyone who's like coming through here. So if you just sit here and just start spamming away, if you hear them rushing, like, and they're rushing like this, boom, you just hit like all of them in the head. You can also come out and start spamming at this angle in case anyone's just like hiding back here, kind of waiting for you to push something along those lines. So those are all different ways that you can hold it. Other things you can do: smoke deeper and play up here. You can walk push it. You can op angle it. You can just sit here with an op one round and get a nice advanced angle, and then basically you know they're not coming B. Like, I'll know 10 seconds before they come B that they're coming B. And then that 10 seconds buys your, you see them here, you shoot them, you start falling back, you throw a smoke, and then basically your team has all this time now where the enemy has to run from back here all the way up here through the smoke and push out into the bomb site, where they can actually rotate from window to B or cat to B or A to B. What else can you do at B? Sitting under the window is also alright, but you might get flashed. Sitting in this position is also decent, but again, you might get flashed. But those are pretty much all the common B spots. Other things you can do is, like, I know some people play here. Some guy was playing here on a pistol round. I jumped out the window, and then he came out and just like shot me in the head. It was really weird. I don't think it's a good position. But you can do things. Let's give myself an op. You can play this angle with an op, which is like an off angle. Like, no one really expects this. Everyone expects someone to be on top of the van. So if you're like at this angle, like, no one really expects this. So that's a pretty good angle. And then also, if you want to get a little bit more aggressive, this angle is really good, because you can see, I'll shoot. You can see all the way back here through some little sliver. So it's like really difficult for the T's to see you. That's a good angle. Otherwise, you can just walk up here and just hold this angle. It's sometimes good, really, really strong, to put an op here instead of having the op go window or something, just to throw off the enemy team. Okay, what else on this map? Anything else for Mirage? Start spamming away in chat, boys and gals. Playing in the corner of cat. Yeah, you could play here. It's fine. Like, people will look here though. But if you have a teammate distracting, let's say your teammate's over at bench, like kind of distracting them, and they jump out, they might not be looking at you here, so you can shoot them in the side, because they'll come out here like this, and then they'll like look for this guy in sight, and then you can shoot them in the back if you're hiding here. Okay, can you go over retaking A from B, please, Genesis? Thank you for the donation, dude. Retaking A from B. Okay. So if you're the B player and your teammates are calling, oh, they're doing A smokes, they're doing A smokes, and there's smokes here, and there's smokes here, and there's the smoke on the stairs, and the enemy is coming to the site, and the bomb spot and everything. You want to rotate over from B. So let's say you're rotating over one of two spots, jungle or CT spawn. Situational. There's no like right or wrong. You can't just say like do this every time. You have to basically make up your mind. How's your teammate set up? Do you have like a couple of teammates here already? Are your teammates in the jungle? Are the enemies in jungle? Are the enemies lurking mid? Like, you have to ask yourself these questions. But let's say it's just like a standard round and all the enemies are like Palace and A ramp. You can come CT. You want to make sure like the site's cleared first. If you have a smoke left over and if you haven't like pre-smoked B or anything, you can use this one of two spots. One would be the ramp. The other would be a Palace. So let's say you come here and you just want to smoke off Palace. This is good so that the enemy can't really do anything. They have to like run out all the way. Even a shitty smoke like that, or even if you come jungle side, you can throw an even better smoke for Palace. Oh god. An even better smoke for Palace. So that's what you want to do. Smoke off either ramp or smoke off Palace. When you're pushing into the site, you need to watch out for a few specific positions. Firebox, sandwich, Tetris box, ramp, underbelt, and anyone who's just like in the site. Those are basically the main positions that the enemy is going to be in. So that's where you have to check. So if you're CT and you're smoked off, sometimes it's good to actually just come up here and just jump spot and just find out where they are and just get information off of it. Just collect information off of it for your teammates to come in. If you know that the enemy's in sight, or you've come through jungle, or your teammates are like jungle or something, you can actually bounce flashes or a nade off this try box, and it'll land exactly on like the default box. So if they're sitting here planting the bomb, and you're just here, maybe you even have an incendiary or a Molotov, bounce it into the site, and it's going to stop them from planting the bomb. So that's a good way to kind of slow down and execute, or do a retake. So this is good. This is a flash is pretty good, because this flash will still get anyone who's like under balcony. So if I should set pause, and if I'm playing under the balcony, that flash is going to get me. So that's a pretty decent flash to throw. But yeah, I mean, you can do other flashes, like if you come on the dumpster, the trash can, and you look up here and you throw a flash. Like, that's a pretty good flash. You can use the hole in the sky here to throw flashes over top. You can flash over this thing. You can do flashes, let's say you're upstairs, you can do flashes off that. Where else can you do flashes? You can even just do flashes like this and then just run in or something, because they won't, if they're behind you, they don't blind you at all. So those are good flashes to use. If you're coming up the stairs, you'll always want to just like jiggle up and down. You never want to just like come up and just like run up. You always want to just like check, are they behind tri-box? Can I see their heads? Can I see their heads here? Here. You want to see if you can see their heads in sight. If you can't see them in sight, that's when you kind of move up and clear the other positions. WarOwl_official has just subscribed. Seems legit. Okay. Anything else on Mirage that you guys want me to talk about? I'm gonna take it off sub mode actually real quick and see what other people have to say, because I do a picture quick question. When are you giving Mo lessons over this? Went 3 weeks on the holidays, missed you, man. By the way, who's the fifth on your team? Mo mom has a tight cunt. I'm gonna eat your fucking cat. I fucked Mo's mom. Can we get cobble tips? Okay. Subscribers. off. Okay. These, I'll upload these to YouTube, yes. Smokes when going B or rushing B. I actually don't know any B smokes on this map because when I was playing with Eye by Power, we didn't actually play this map ever. We always vetoed it. I can show you the flashes that you want to use if you're doing a B rush. You want to throw flashes over top this wall that go deep, and then also you want to do a flash out through the window. Those are the flashes that you're going to want to use.